The word gospel comes from the Greek word euangelion and means good news or good tidings. In the Greco-Roman world where Jesus and his disciples lived, this word was specifically tied to the Roman ruler or emperor. Everything the emperor did and said was considered the euangelion or gospel. The Roman people saw the emperor and the deliverance, stability, and riches he provided as good news for the whole world. But in reality, it was only good news to a select few. So when followers of Christ started using this word to describe Jesus and everything he did, this would have raised huge red flags. It was countercultural, counter-political, and counter-religious. It went against almost every norm and thinking of that society. This meant that Christ, his message, and his followers were quite radical. Christ's kingdom was not primarily of this world and its ways of doing things. In fact, Jesus' way of doing things was usually in direct opposition to the ideals of the Roman Empire, which used force to conquer and control other people. For the first followers, and hopefully for followers today, the good news was that Jesus had come into the world to put an end to this type of power and abuse. Jesus showed his disciples a different way to live in the world. He showed them the power of trusting in God and of loving one's neighbors. And he challenged corruption and stood up for the least of these. He manifested the love of God in tangible ways. So when we talk about the gospel, we need to recognize that it is about the person of Jesus. It is about who he was and what he did. And it is about the salvation he has made possible for all people. But we can't stop there. Just as Jesus is the living word, so too is the gospel. It is not simply a story we retell. It is a dynamic and living power that is expanding to include others, that is transforming our world and making all things new. This is the gospel.